survivors in the Midwest. Rushing water swamping the streets as strong storms dump up to 10 inches of rain in New Orleans. The devastating scenes. Entire neighborhoods underwater. Kayaks replacing cars. And the new weather threat this morning.
Marines rescued. The first pictures coming in now of the survivors of that Osprey crash. The high-tech craft hitting the water during a training mission. 3 service members missing right now. The recovery effort underway.
Taylor Swift's courtroom battle, the bad blood between the superstar and a former radio DJ she accuses of assault, the suit and countersuit, and why this TMZ photo is considered key evidence in the case.
And the giant jackpots. Lottery fever spreading fast.
This is it.
No big winners overnight. That means another chance for a double dose of riches.
This kind of money will make anybody new.
The Powerball and Mega Millions prizes swelling in size. The fortunes that could be yours.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday morning. We're going to have the latest on those dueling jackpots in a moment. Do you have Powerball fever?
A mild form of it.
Yes. I'm counting on you, though, for an update on the odds later. I know you like all the numbers.
Yes, I like doing
quintillion and quadrillion, but we want to get right to the severe weather happening overnight.
Yeah, look at the radar. Storms barreling through the central U.S., bringing more than 6 inches of rain in some spots and violent winds over 75 miles an hour.
We want you to check out these images from Kansas City, Missouri overnight. Flash flooding. Look at that, creating rushing waters, stranding drivers. Officials are carrying out water rescues.
And there is more severe weather on the way. Rob is, of course, covering it all. Rob, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. Hello, Paula. These pictures just coming into us from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where a possible tornado dropped down and did some damage to the southern part of that city. 26 reported injuries, mostly lacerations, non-critical, and most of those people were treated and released from the local hospital there. But still, a frightening night, and it's going to be a rough morning as the sun comes up on some of this damage, some of that debris over I-44, which is closed for a time. So we'll get an update on this throughout the morning, no doubt about that. That coupled with heavy rain across the Tulsa area and Kansas City area, 4 to 6 inches of rainfall there. Flash flooding happening during the overnight hours, and also New Orleans, 8 to 10 inches of rainfall falling there for flooding the streets of that Crescent City as this storm system rolls off towards the south and east. More heavy rain expected Tulsa or Springfield as this system rides its stationary boundary and actually gets up into the northeast into an area that's also saturated. The mid-Atlantic, potential rough weather there tomorrow, locally 4 to 5 inches in this swath as this storm makes its way across the country. More on this a little bit later in the program. Dan, back over to you.
Another busy summer weekend in the weather department. Rob, thank you. Much more from you as we continue the show this morning. Back now to the lottery. As we said, no winners overnight in either of the 2 huge back-to-back lottery drawings. That means the Powerball and the Mega Millions jackpots will continue to grow.
And we presume your next question, you're wondering, how much are they worth? Well, combined, collectively over $650 million. Our Adrian Bankert is in New York City again for us this morning. And Adrian, people are scrambling to get more tickets before the next drawings a little bit later this week. Good morning to you.
Yes, guys, look at these numbers. Huge, right? It's like lottery deja vu. No winner in the Mega Millions on Friday night. No winner in the Powerball on Saturday night. And that means that these 2 jackpots combined are growing closer and closer to $1 billion with a B dollars. This morning, dueling lotto jackpots with more than $650 million now up for grabs.
Now for your winning Powerball number.
The Powerball grand prize now soars to $307 million. It comes the same weekend as the Mega Millions jackpot. No winner Friday brings the cash prize to a whopping $346 million.
This is it. This is it.
The odds of winning the Powerball, 1 in 292 million. The Mega Millions chances, 1 in 259 million, both astronomical. But from the looks of those lining up at this store in Texas, who's counting?
Thank you.
I have confidence, and I just feel like I'm coming out here to get the winning tickets. I have the winning tickets.
The massive payouts together are higher than what some countries make in a year.
This kind of money will make anybody new, so.
Players hopeful this could be their week to strike it rich.
Somebody's got to win it. May not be tonight, but it's going to be sometime. Why not me?
Why Why not, right? Okay, so the next are going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively, for both the Mega Millions and Powerball. Let's see who gets lucky. Dan and Paula.
Got to have confidence. That's key number one. All right, Adrian, maybe it could be you. Make sure you buy your ticket, Adrian.
You know, I don't know. I think somebody gifted me a ticket as they were walking by. We'll see.
Just write your name on it. Thanks,
I think
Adrian.
that ticket was probably from last week. Just saying.
We'll see you back in studio in a couple minutes, Adrian. We do have some sad news to report this morning. The search for 3 missing U.S. Marines off the coast of Australia has turned from a rescue mission to a recovery effort.
The 3 were among 23 passengers on board a controversial Osprey aircraft that went into the water. And ABC's Stephanie Ramos is in Washington with the latest. Stephanie, good morning to you.
Dan and Paula, good morning. Right now, investigators are trying to find anything they can from the aircraft that crashed, especially the data recorder. That could tell investigators why this aircraft went down. This morning, the first images of the crash survivors at the hospital. The Marines rescued after their aircraft went down during a routine practice flight off the east coast of Australia. Overnight, investigators suspending the search for 3 service members missing at sea, now calling it a recovery mission. The Marines likely did not survive. Their MV-22 aircraft, also known as an Osprey, hit the water around 4 p.m. local time Saturday. U.S. military aircraft and ships scoured the water for hours, crews managing to rescue 23 of the 26 Marines on board.
It is unfortunate, but it is a fact of life in military aviation that those mishaps are going to occur.
These accidents have happened before. In January of this year, 3 U.S. soldiers were hurt in an Osprey hard landing in Yemen. And in 2015, an Osprey crashed during a military exercise in Hawaii. Images show it erupting in a ball of fire. 2 Marines killed.
So it's a difficult environment to operate in and to train for, but it's absolutely required for us to be prepared for combat.
This is the 2nd military plane to crash in less than a month. 15 Marines and 1 sailor killed when their military transport plane crashed in Mississippi, also on a training exercise. The Osprey belongs to a unit based out of Okinawa, Japan. And with an upcoming training exercise, the Japanese defense minister now says he wants the U.S. to stop flying the aircraft in Japan until all information about this crash is known. Dan and Paula.
Stephanie, thank you. Let's talk politics now and a new flurry of tweets from President Trump, who's at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, where he insists he is not on vacation.
Even though it is August, the world is not slowing down. This weekend, the United Nations issued new sanctions to punish North Korea for its escalating nuclear and missile programs. The president sounding off about that and other issues in his tweet storm over the weekend. George is standing by, but we're going to start here with ABC's David Wright, who's in Bedminster for us this morning. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Paula and Dan. The president is eager to show that he is still working hard on this 17-day vacation, hopping on Twitter to praise those UN sanctions and to condemn leaks. On his first full day of vacation, the only moment we saw President Trump was when he stopped to greet some wedding guests at his Bedminster club. But the president tweeted defensively, working in Bedminster, New Jersey, as long-planned construction is being done at the White House. This is not a vacation, meetings and calls. And as if to prove it, he fired off tweets fast and furious. On leaks, great to see the AG taking action. For national security, the tougher the better. On the UN Security Council's unanimous vote to impose additional sanctions on North Korea, China and Russia voted with us. Very big financial impact. Trump's new chief of staff is with him in Bedminster. Before boarding Air Force One, General John Kelly gathered the White House staff. All of them now report to him. Kelly's challenge to impose order and
I'm a business person. I'm used to dealing with friction.
One big problem, hiring a new communications director to clean up after Anthony Scaramucci. Among the names floated this weekend, Stephen Miller. He's the presidential advisor who last week seemed to suggest that the Statue of Liberty is not a beacon to immigrants, those huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
The poem that you're referring to that was added later is not actually part of the original Statue of Liberty.
Having Miller take over White House messaging would likely be controversial. Now, the administration urgently needs to replace Scaramucci, who replaced Sean Spicer, and muscle out Priebus, but there's no indication that they're close to making a decision. Dan and Paula?
To be continued. All right, David, thanks for your reporting with the president in Bedminster for us this morning. And we want to bring in our chief anchor, George Stephanopoulos, who's going to be hosting this week a little bit later this morning. Good morning, George. First and foremost, we know that the president can't be in the West Wing and the White House because they're repairing the dilapidated HVAC system, so they're kicking everybody out of D.C. But why is he so defensive about being on vacation right now?
Good question. You know, every president takes vacation. Every president is always working. It's just a fact. You know, the White House follows you. But the president, I think, is a little bit defensive about this because he was so aggressive against President Obama for all the vacations, for all the golf. He played lots of sound bites, lots of tweets attacking him. So I think the president is feeling that blowback a little bit.
Let's talk about General Kelly, the new chief of staff, just a few days on the job. You seeing any changes from your perch?
Seems like things have tightened up. I think there's no question about that. Not only is Anthony Scaramucci out, he also gave the National Security Advisor, General McMaster, the power to take some Jared Kushner allies out of the National Security Council as well. So you see some changes in personnel. It certainly seems as if the meeting schedules have tightened up inside the White House. Access to the president and the information to the president has been tightened up. And if you're watching the president's tweets this week, he hasn't stopped tweeting, and the president has said he's not going to stop tweeting. But the tweets, for the most part, seem to be a little more strategic.
It'll be interesting to see if he will have say as well on who the new comms director is going to be. But I want to talk to you. The New York Times is reporting that there are GOP shadow campaigns already being formed for 2020 in the event that Trump doesn't want to run or another scenario. And Vice President Mike Pence is intimating to donors that he's going to run if Trump doesn't. What do you make of all this?
He says he's not, and he's saying this is all fake news.
His aides.
This is pretty remarkable. We are not even 7 months in to this term, and you've got lots of Republicans jockeying now to be in place if President Trump either can't run or decides he's not going to run in 2020, including the vice president. The vice president is keeping up a full political schedule. The vice president has set up. Now, he has been very loyal to the president. He's been, you know, very careful about that, both in public and in private. But he is doing everything he can behind the scenes to be in place if Trump can't run.
Walking the finest of fine lines. When we talk about your show this morning, you've got a very interesting guest, Senator Tom Tillis, a Republican from North Carolina. He's introduced a bill that could protect the special counsel Robert Mueller if he's fired by President Trump. Is this seen as an act of aggression by the White House?
Well, one of the things you're seeing this week as the president heads on vacation is Republicans much more apt to buck the White House on issues like health care, on issues of Russia. They passed that Russia sanctions legislation that the president was forced to sign, even though he didn't want to. And this is pretty remarkable that Senator Tillis has joined Chris Coons, a Democratic senator from Delaware, to put in this legislation that said if the president fires Mueller, there'll be a chance for some judicial review. You're also hearing from so many Republican senators that would be crossing the reddest of red lines.
If he fires.
If the president fires Robert Mueller, there will just be an explosion. Yes. I would even wonder what the new White House Chief of Staff, General Kelly, did if the president tried to take that step.
George, thank you.
Thanks,
a lot
George.
to talk about this morning. Really appreciate it. George has a big show this morning. He's going to go one-on-one with Counselor to the President Kellyanne Conway, plus Democratic Senator Chris Coons and Republican Senator Tom Tillis. We're going to discuss that new bill, which could protect Special Counsel Robert Mueller if he's fired by the president. That's coming up later this morning on This Week, right here on ABC. George, thanks again.
Thanks, George. We want to move now to a scare in midair. Severe turbulence tossed passengers and crew around the cabin, the ceiling covered by drinks that went flying in the air.
At least 10 people taken to the hospital, and ABC's Eva Pilgrim is at LaGuardia Airport in New York with what those passengers are saying about all this morning. Eva, good morning to you.
Good morning. Those passengers tell us they were 30 minutes out when out of nowhere they felt a huge drop, a free fall, sending drinks and people flying.
There was just very slight turbulence for about 5 seconds, and then suddenly it felt like the whole plane was in free fall.
Terrifying turbulence tossing a commercial airliner around mid-flight. At least 10 people taken to the hospital.
There was definitely a good 10 seconds where I thought it was bad news for sure.
299 people were on board American Airlines Flight 759 traveling from Athens, Greece to Philadelphia when it hit rough air.
It started shaking, then it took a big drop. Babies screaming, people in front of us hitting the ceilings.
Passengers tweeting showing the plane's ceiling covered in drinks, saying while the turbulence was short, it was scary.
I mean, I was pretty petrified, so I was just kind of grabbing my family that was all around me.
The plane safely landing just after 3 Saturday.
Philly Tower, American 759 Heavy. runway 27 right, clear to land.
Among those injured on board, 3 passengers, 7 crew.
One of the flight attendants dislocated his left shoulder. We decided to put his arm in a makeshift sling that was made out of an airplane blanket.
American Airlines saying the seatbelt sign was on at the time. We are taking care of our passengers and our crew members at this time and want to thank our team members for keeping our passengers safe.
No word this morning on the extent of those injuries. Dan and Paula.
All right, Eva, thanks for reporting from LaGuardia this morning. What a nightmare.
Yeah, total nightmare.
Whole
really
lot of pain.
Scary. Working for hours with his
know.
arm in a sling. Good for him.
Not a nightmare. This guy, you're nothing but a dream. Good morning to you, Ron.
Nice transition.
That was actually one of my worst, but I love you anyway.
Good morning to you, Paula and Dan. Good morning, everyone. We're going to begin in Minnesota, where the FBI is investigating an explosion at a mosque in a suburb of Minneapolis. Witnesses say they saw someone throwing something at the mosque just before the explosive device went off there. There were about 20 people inside at the time. Police say that nobody was injured. Investigators have no suspects at this time. In Venezuela, opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez was released from a military prison overnight. He and another opposition figure were taken from their homes last Tuesday. The Venezuelan Supreme Court revoked their house arrests in fear that they would flee the country following an election condemned by the White House. That election has sparked violent protests in that country. And Fox News host Eric Bolling has been suspended by the network over allegations that he sent lewd photos to at least 3 female co-workers. Bolling will be off the air pending an investigation, according to a statement released by Fox News. His regular Saturday show, Cashin' In, was not broadcast Saturday night. His attorney says the claims against him, against Bolling, are untrue and terribly unfair. And Major League Baseball suspended Oakland A's outfielder Matt Joyce for 2 games for an anti-gay slur that he directed at a fan during a game against the LA Angels in Anaheim. This happened on Saturday as Joyce was returning to the dugout in the 8th inning. He uttered several profanities at that fan and then challenged the fan to a fight. According to witnesses, Joyce issued a written apology later saying that emotions got the best of him. And finally, at the annual Pro Football Hall of Fame induction Saturday in Canton, Ohio, inductee LaDainian Tomlinson, excuse me for mispronouncing his name, former running back for the San Diego Chargers, gave this really inspirational speech. Listen to it.
When we open the door for others to compete, we fulfill the promise of one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Tomlinson was inducted along with 6 other pro football greats, former greats, including former Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kurt Warner, who Paula mentioned yesterday. I guess you're a fan. And Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, and one of my favorite players, Kenny Easley, formerly of UCLA and the Seattle Seahawks. A great safety.
LT, what a great speech.
It was really good. You should watch a longer excerpt. It was really very powerful.
I feel like I should call him Reverend. I mean, he was preaching up there.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, great to hear from you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere.
Stay here.
Forever.
Okay. Forever.
Forever.
Thank you, Ron. Let's check the weather now. Once again, with Rob. Robert, what's cooking?
Hey, guys, speaking of LT, man, I wish he would come back out of retirement, because ever since he retired, my fantasy football team has never been the same. I have not been above 500. All right, maybe this show will be different. It is getting to football season. We are getting into the heart of hurricane season, and this disturbance has our eyes here in the central Atlantic. 30 to 50% chance of developing in the next 3 to 5 days and drifting towards at least the northern Caribbean islands, and that obviously is in the realm of the U.S. We're watching this carefully. Also a disturbance in the central Caribbean, and this has a better chance of developing here in the next couple of days, and this will head towards Central America or the Yucatan, maybe the Gulf of Mexico as well. We're watching that, obviously, very carefully. The peak of this comes in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Today, a beautiful day across the Northeast. Those storms will fire across parts of the central U.S., and the West Coast looks to be nice, still warm across the Pacific Northwest. That's a quick check on what's happening nationally. Here's what's shaking where you live.
Sunshine for today, and temperatures still in the low 80s, but we will watch an increase in cloud cover come by tonight, and that's going to stick with us through the day tomorrow. We're talking heavier downpours and also some thunderstorms, so take the rain gear, watch for ponding on roadways as we go through tomorrow afternoon. The Nationals return home tomorrow night. Could possibly see a rain delay with some of those showers and storms, but by Tuesday we're back to drier skies.
That's right. The next storm on the list would be the F storm, Ron Claiborne asked.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're already far down that list.
Busy season already.
so far, and we're getting into the height of it, and I'm excited for football season. This year, my team is going to be a winner.
Well, your team is?
What's
well,
the
my
name of your
fantasy
team?
football team.
Oh,
And
your
Giants.
fantasy football
With the help
team.
of
Okay,
Paula,
okay.
maybe. I may